Down, up, alternate picking across the neck takes place with a certain amount of finesse in string crossing, obviously, but it also takes some strength on the upstroke, because most players are better at downstroke when you first start, because that's all you do. So when you throw in the upstroke, then you wind up maybe a little weaker on the upstroke. And so you're practicing both the down and up to find out how you can get the same sound out of down and up when you pick. So down is obviously the pick going towards the floor, up is coming towards you. So I'm going to start on the 8th fret on C on the E string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 4 fret and 4 finger patterns, and I'm not really worried about what notes I'm playing at this point. It's an exercise. So I'm starting on the 8th fret, and I am playing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to cross over to the next string, and over to the next string, and then I'm going to go backwards and go down. As I work on that, doing that to get the same tone from the downstroke as the upstroke. Sometimes it might be helpful to just do one note and work on getting the same tone from down and up. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do the exercise. Because there are 4 notes on each string, there's 2 repetitions of down, up, down, up. You can do the same kind of practice technique using, say, the 1st and the 3rd finger, and just 2 repetitions on a string. 1 repetition on a string, sorry. You can use 1 and 4. You can use 1 and 2. So with those things I've talked about so far, you need to realize that there are, I believe, 24 possible fingering combinations using the 4 fingers. So if you wrote a chart and you know of all of those, then you would come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, then say switch to 1 3 4 2, 1 3 2 4, and do all the combinations starting with the first finger. Then do all the combinations starting with the second finger. Do all the combinations starting with the third finger, and then the fourth finger. And there should be, I believe, 24 of those combinations that you're going to find. So as I do this, watch both the right hand and the left hand as I'm now going to reverse it, and I'm going to do 4 3 2 1. I'll do that slowly. Now, obviously, this is really good for both hands. The left hand needs to get a lot of different of those combinations of the fingers moving on the board, and the right hand is working on, right now, alternate picking. By the way, I don't use total alternate picking. One of the YouTube posts that I have out about hybrid picking will kind of show that I have a variety of ways of articulating using fingers as well as the pick, but I need alternate picking to play ideas that have some speed or some chops to them when I'm playing bebop or when I'm just playing anything really. So now the next thing is that if I use the 1 2 3 4 fingering, I can play the chromatic scale, doing the same thing, alternating from string to string, but I'm moving my left hand. So starting on C on the 8th fret, move your hand down 1 fret, move your hand down 1 more fret, down 1 more fret. Now, because the string tuning changes from fourths to thirds between the G and the B, you keep it there. Now move down 1 fret. And there's the root. So I'm playing a chromatic scale 2 octaves starting from this C and finishing on this C. So slowly again. When you descend on this pattern, it goes the other way. So you take and then move your hand up 1 fret. Stay on that same fret. Up 1 fret. Up 1 fret. Up 1 fret. Slide down to the root. The root of that chromatic scale. So all together, that'll sound like this. And everything is down, up, 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 all the way through. Okay, so if I do the same thing in that pattern, by alternating first and third finger, I get a whole tone scale. Everything is a whole tone apart, or 2 frets, also a major second. So all the same sound. So the same thing when you're descending, you do the same exact thing. When you use 1 and 4, you get an augmented scale. And what that just means is you're approaching the third, major third, by a half step. You're approaching you're hitting the fifth and going to the augmented fifth. That's approaching the root. So the idea of doing that is an effective tool to be able to see how the neck is moving. So you can see how the hands is moving and the neck is moving, and you're working on alternate picking. So another way to look at this is if you are familiar with scales, like most people are familiar with pentatonic scale. So to get a little variety in what I'm playing there, besides always just playing kind of the 5 notes of that minor sounding pentatonic, you can use the chromatic motion that you're working on for alternate picking to go from chord tone to chord tone, or scale tone to scale tone. So I'm basically still just playing a pentatonic scale. The same one that all guitar players have probably overdone tremendously throughout the years. But you can vary that by using those chromatic motions. So the challenge in gaining any new skill or getting stronger at it, unfortunately, is you have to do it a lot. There's no other way to get around it. You have to do it a lot in order to get comfortable with it. So one thing that I still do, I've been doing this, for a long time, but I still have to keep some fingers together, especially in this time where there's no gigs, except for putting stuff on YouTube and Facebook. So the sense that I need to have my hands moving, and accomplishing things that I'm working on is important. So let me take a variation on the 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 1, 3, 2, 4 through the chromatic scale. Coming back down, I'm going to do 4, 2, 3, 1. So any of those variations are going to give you that possibility when you're improvising a melody. Okay, so there's some variety there to practice, and what I do is I just take it as far as I can down the neck. So I'll start on F. And go up the neck. Just so I'm hearing a different tonality. And I'm working all the neck, trying to tell myself where I'm starting at, what notes I'm playing. As I go all the way up the neck doing things like that. I do the same thing with major scales, working on alternate picking and a variety of other picking. So if I'm playing a major scale and I'm doing alternate picking, then I'll pick a key of that major scale and allow some chromatic motion and practice melodic playing in that key. So say, I don't know, A flat. So through all of that, I'm basically improvising with some patterns and things, but I'm trying to keep alternate picking to make sure that that's as strong as possible, because that can go away if you're always hammering and pulling off, and so you have to keep working on it. Okay, so that is my take on alternate picking using chromatic motion. One thing I didn't tell you. You should also practice this using 3 notes per string, which causes your down up to now be reversed. So if I'm doing 1 2 4, 1 2 4, my next stroke down up down is going to be up. So if you do 3 notes per string, and use alternate picking, you're going to have a reversal of where the down and up is striking, because you've got 3 notes instead of an even number of 2 or 4. That's a good thing to work on. So that's probably enough. I'll have some more tutorials out there regarding all the aspects of guitar playing, so tune back in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That helps me. That helps the channel. Thank you for listening.